Okay, now that we have the objective built, what we want to do is be able to test it and make sure it works. Since this is an allied objective, I'm going to need to change my player to be axis. So I'm going to I'm going to select the player, go into the advanced plane properties, change our country from Great Britain to Germany because I'm going to attack this allied objective as a player. And then again, I'm just going to make sure that, actually, I'm going to make sure engageable is turned on. This way the AAA will shoot at me, but I'm going to remain invincible and I'm going to have unlimited ammo. And then what I'll want to do is I'll want to go and actually cause damage, as much damage as I can to the target. And what we're testing for is, will the icons change and will the AAA shoot at the player? So next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna position the player kind of close to where the target is, but outside of these circles. So see this particular circles for this target, I'm just slightly outside of it. And then I wanna make sure that the player is gonna fly in the direction towards the target, which I already have set. It's flying eastward right here at 90 degrees. And just one more check to make sure that, hey, the altitude is at an appropriate altitude, which it is. All right, we'll go ahead and save that. Then we'll go into IL2. And in the main menu here, we're going to go to the missions. And inside the missions, you can see here's my new mission. This is the one I created for this video. I'm going to go to our settings. I'm going to go to custom. I'm going to turn on object markers, navigation markers, allow spectators, which just means that I can go into third person mode. Tech chat's fine and warmed engines is turned on is fine too. And you can turn on anything else if you need to for testing. But I like to have all these turned on just so that I can see things happening correctly in the world. All right, and we'll hit start. And once we get into the mission here, I'll show you why we selected single player versus doing a multiplayer mission. So our initial icon looks good. And because we didn't add any description stuff except for that leader, you can add description. You can see here when I hover over it that it shows up just like I was talking about. All right, we'll hit start. And now I'll be in the plane. I'll unpause. And because I selected single player, I can fast forward time or slow down time by hitting the square brackets next to the enter key. All right, so we're going to fast forward time to get closer. And that slight delay is when the AAA spawned in. So we'll slow down time here. And by the way, I hit F2 to switch views. And I can also hit F11 to disconnect from my plane. Be very careful when hitting F11. If you hit F10, you're going to mess up your pilot position for when you play regularly. All right, so let's take a look and see if our AAA is tracking and going to shoot at our player, which it is. Just takes a second, and there we go. Now the AAA is shooting at the player. So we know for certain that the AAA spawns in and will shoot at the player. And as you can see, the player is taking puffy flak as well from some of the other stuff. Oh, so we do have a problem. And that problem is that this particular AAA is a little bit too close to that building. And when it tried to shoot the player, it hit the building instead. And you can see it's happening again right here. It's shooting that building as well. And that's hit the tree. Yeah. So what we'll do is we'll move that AAA just a little bit outside of the range of that building and the other white building that's next to it. So we'll go ahead and finish mission. We'll go back to our mission editor. I'll go into the Allied Galeen rail station group. And I'm looking for the AAA because we need to fix it. So here's our AAA group. I'm going to go into there, set group is working. And then it was this building right here, or maybe it was this one. Let's just double check, switch this view. Um, yeah, it was this one right here that's just a little bit too close. So what we'll do is just move it a little bit further away from the buildings so that they can fire at that nice white arc and not destroy the buildings. We'll save it. And actually, I did not save it, so let me do that now. Save it. Okay, then we'll go back to the mission. Let's start. We'll fly it again to test it. And again, we're just looking to see, hey, is the AAA behaving correctly? And then, of course, we can attack the objective and make sure that the icons switch appropriately, right? So we set the correct values at 15, 30, 45, and 60. But in this video, I'm not gonna attack things because it just takes too long. All right, so it's fast forwarding time. That slight delay was all the AAA spawning in. You'll really only see that when time is really, really sped up. I'm going to disconnect from our plane and make sure that this AAA right here, this big boy, is not hitting any of the buildings near it. So you can see it's further away from the buildings and it is behaving appropriately now. All right, hopefully this series was helpful to you. Again, if you have any questions, by all means, post it in the Combat Box Discord. I'll do my best to help you out with your mission building. Or you can also post it in your questions or comments in the IL2 forums, and I'll do my best to help you out there. Thanks for watching and have an awesome day.